Can you see this screen? It's a new screen.
It's a new screen with folders. That's what I'm seeing.
What? Got it. How about this?
Are you opening a document?
Let's put this right here.
Yeah, now something is coming up.
Okay. Good. For a guy 61, I'm not doing too bad. All right. Now, take a look at this, and I hope you can follow the cursor, email. Okay. Do you recognize this email?
I partially recognize it. The problem with that email is it looks like it is not fully inclusive. It looks like it is trimmed here and there. So it's not a full email that I can verify.
Okay, well, that's a good question because I'm going to take you down to the bottom. Whoops. And I'm going to show you the bottom because it does say, actually, if we can scroll it to the right a little bit and just be patient with me, y'all, 2 of 4, right? So you're saying it's not a full email, correct?
Well, if you scroll up, look at it, I can see the content being trimmed because normally if you copy,
right, well,
okay.
Right, but I'm saying this email, because we have to have a start and finish, this one email is from you, correct?
So if it is fully from me, that should also include who wrote it, to whom it was written, etc. That part is missing in that email. That's why I'm saying it looks like this email is modified. Okay,
well, see, it's interesting that you're saying that because if you take a look at the bottom, this is your production number, Ms. Rubel's production number. It also, and let me scroll to the right a little bit, shows pages 2 of 4. Now let's scroll down to the next page. Okay?
Yeah.
It shows page, and this is why I attached it. The very next Bates stamp number, 798, and the earlier one scrolling up is 797. So this was produced by your side and you, and it shows 2 of 4 here, and then 1 of 2 on the next page. So if there is a missing part, right, then it would be something that you did not provide, correct?
I can tell you I have provided it properly, and I could even look up the evidence and share it again if that is needed, but I haven't modified any content that is provided.
Okay, but this is the Bates number. So take a look. Okay. But I think that the Bates stamp numbers were provided by Ms. Rubel's office, correct?
I think so.
Okay. Let's take a look at the content of this email.
Can I object until the email is authenticated and entered into evidence?
Well, that's what that's what I'm trying to do. Just hold your horses for a sec. Take a look at the content of this email. Is this do you recall writing this email?
Yes.
Okay. Is this email from you from beginning to end true and correct?
That I don't know, but I do remember writing this email to to give a background of this email.
Your Honor, instruct the witness to answer the question, not.
Okay, don't forget, let's start this off good. One's gonna talk, gonna finish talking, then we're gonna let him answer. So Mr. John, yes or no, then you can explain.
Yes.
You remember writing the email. Now you can explain your answer.
So this email is a response I have written to the email I have received from a person named Sabu Kurian. If you scroll down, you could see his email ID there. This is, I think, the second or third out of the 12 emails. I
Judge,
have
move to
received from this-
strike. I'm just asking him a question if he sent the email.
Objection, he's allowed to explain his answer.
I just asked if he wrote the email.
And he's providing his response that was in response to an email he received from Sabu. That's a.
I don't see how that's relevant.
I got it. You wrote the email in a response to someone named Sabu. Is that it, Mr. John?
Yes,
Okay,
Your
Okay.
Honor.
Okay.
go ahead, Mr. Tannen.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, I'm going to move to admit, Your Honor, page 1, number 797, for purposes of evidence, and page 2 was solely for purposes of showing the the Bates stamping and the continuousness. I'm not entering it for its substance.
And I'm going to object because I want this exhibit, or I should say this exhibit includes a response from our client to communication. So taking it in part is not going to provide the completeness of the record. So the completeness of the email chain between these two parties. And additionally, my client's already said that there appears to be a portion of his email that's missing in these communications. Whether or not that's related to Bates numbers or not, I can't say, because when Bates numbers are added to documents, it's because when they come in an order, that's just a number. That doesn't mean that that's the only time it was produced. That doesn't mean that there wasn't a complete another reproduction in some other Bates number.
Mr. Tannen, are you doing this because whomever did the Bates stamping, Ms. Williams or some other paralegal or someone at the office did the improper Bates stamping? Or
This is the only evidence we have of this, Your Honor, and it was provided by the other side, and we did not shortcut or manipulate the documents at all. So what we're asking is for him to have admitted what he states he wrote, and if he can supplement it with other pages, then we're happy to review that.
So, but you're admitting it for me to look at the Bates stamping.
No, I'm admitting page 797 for its substance, and page 798 was simply to establish that we did not interrupt anything. We didn't cut it off, which I would assume would be the argument. If you look at the bottom, it says page 2 of 4, and the very next page says 1 of 2, but the Bates stamps are continuous, and it's the only source that we have for it.
Okay,
Well,
because before you said you weren't admitting it for substance, just the Bates.
No, I'm sorry, Judge. I meant to say, and I apologize if it got lost in translation, the first page where we seek to admit for its substance. The second page we seek to admit simply to show the Bates stamp.
Go ahead, Ms. Rubin.
My response is that when you have an email communication or evidence, you have to have the full chain of communications to understand the context of a response from our client. So we would say that the entire communication, if the court admits it, is admitted for its contents, not just the Bates number or it picking and choosing. My other response to the exhibit is, I mean, I'm okay with the court bringing this in and recognizing it for if a piece or a part is missing and that's something that we need to supplement to show the entire communication, if the whole thing comes in. I'm not trying to create major issues with the exhibit. And we can supplement if we need to, but I just think that either it all comes in or none of it comes in.
Well, Judge, the part that's written by, I'm sorry, Your Honor, the part that is written by Mr. Phillip is an admission. The part that's written by Mr. Sabu is hearsay unless he, some miraculous way, shows up. I think this is a fairly common problem or issue when it comes to emails that are in a chain, and I don't understand the difficulty in admitting the part where you have the author here and you don't admit the part where the author isn't here.
Was it not a response to an email?
Yes.
So it would be the completeness. I mean, it's the doctrine of completeness, am I not?
Okay, Judge, let's let the whole thing in. I don't, you know,
All right, so
let's just get, I'm sorry, ma'am.
796, 797, and 798, according to the bait stamps. Is that right?
790, yes, Your Honor.
So bait stamp 796 through 798.
Perfect. Okay, so Mr.
Are you admitting that is
As defendants too.
once again? Let's not forget to email that to Ms. Sanders.
Judge, I'm sorry, you know what, you broke up on that and I apologize.
That's okay. Let's not forget to email the that exhibit to Ms. Sanders.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mr. John, looking at this email, okay? The first sentence there, you said you are aware, correct, of the marriage between a Sabu and Sheena, is that right?
That's the understanding I have.
Yes. And it says here, is it correct where you said that you were informed about the wedding at the beginning of the beginning of the year, is that correct?
Yes, I got that information.
Yes. And so you would have, if I'm reading this correctly, you learned about this in early 2019, is that correct?
I learned about this, yes.
Okay.
2019, yes.
In early 2019, in beginning of year itself.
I am not sure about beginning or the middle. I can say, I'm sure I came to know about it by middle of 2019. That I know because I went to meet Father Matthew after. Sorry,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So as of some point in 2019, you had understood that there was a secret ceremony that had occurred. Would that be in 2019 or 2018 to your understanding?
2019 to my understanding.
Okay. You were not at a ceremony, correct?
No, it's an information that I have received.
Okay. Okay. So you got word through third parties as to this secret ceremony, is that correct?
I got that information from Binu Monsi or
Okay.
Anne Joseph.
Okay. And if we go to the next exhibit, I'm just going to close this out. Mm-hmm. Can you see this? New exhibit labeled Petitioner's Objection and Responses to First Continuing Interrogatories of Petitioner?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall assisting Ms. Rubel or Mrs. Rubel assisting you or someone in her office assisting you in preparing these responses?
Yes.
If you'll review it, and I'm happy to scroll up and down, is this a true and accurate copy of your responses? And just let me know. I'm happy to slow it down because I know I'm fingering fast.
If you could scroll down to see whether there is a signature.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And tell me if I'm going too fast. Okay. If you need me to go back, let me know.
Yeah. Normally it should include my signature, but it looks like it's a document that was prepared. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go back up now to response number 2. And by the way, Your Honor, we had asked Ms. Rubel's office to submit the original. I don't believe it has been submitted, but we had requested it a while ago in anticipation of the trial. Hopefully it's been submitted and we just don't know about it. Okay. So going to response number 2, correct?
Yes,
And can you see my the cursor moving when I do it?
I can.